Is it about race or is it about something else? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the soon-to-be former mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, going MS-13 DNC and speaking to Al Sharpton about the end of her term and why her term came to an end. She's talking about things like racism and sexism and LGBTQ, elemental P-ism, all kind of different things that potentially have gotten her to the point where she's at right now, no longer being the mayor of Chicago. Now, maybe there's another reason or a few other reasons why, like, I don't know, bad job performance, emboldening criminals, demoralizing the police, just maybe a few things. And before I get too deep into it and down that deep, dark rabbit hole, let's roll the clip. If you want to see it in full without my commentary, link, as always, will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Look, there's no question, Reverend Al, that there are some people in Chicago and across the country that don't want mayors like me to succeed. There's a reason.
Pause. What does a mayor like me, what does that phrase mean? A mayor like me, a mayor like you. Let's be clear. She is obviously a black female and LGBT. She's married to a woman. So are we talking about that specifically? Is it about the race? Like, what are we speaking about specifically here?
The reason why in 2020, part of Trump's national strategy was to go after cities and mayors like me by name, by city. Not just me, but also Keisha Lance Bottoms in Atlanta, Muriel Bowser in Washington, D.C. And when
Okay, Keisha Lance Bottoms and Muriel Bowser, what do they have in common? Black women. So I guess we're going to go down the whole black female road, as if Trump did not call out people like Eric Garcetti, the former mayor of Los Angeles, Bill de Blasio, the former mayor of New York City, both of whom are white males. So I guess they don't count. But when you call out a black female, all of a sudden that counts. It's pretty silly.
The person with the biggest megaphone and biggest stage attacks you in a way that Trump attacked us, it unleashes a set of forces that are hard to control. Those dog whistles that were blown in 2020 are still resonating today, and it was fed by the uncertainty and the anger, and then funded by right-wing forces that wanted to take down a big city mayor. Unfortunately, the people who were jumping on the bandwagon of a Republican posing like a Democrat now got a Democratic socialist as their mayor.
Now, there was a lot she said there. That's the internet clip. There's a lot she said there. She has a point about the new mayor not being any better than her. But as far as the race thing, I don't really understand, because you got Brandon Johnson, who is a black male. So, I mean, I don't know. But and when's the last time Chicago had a Republican mayor? Like, you're talking about during the old school Italian mafia days, like Prohibition days. I don't know. When was the last time Chicago had a Republican mayor? So I don't think that was going to happen anytime soon anyway, regardless of what anybody on the national stage said. And again, how you going to make it be about black females when Trump called out people like Bill de Blasio, Eric Garcetti, and many more? It's not about race. It's not about skin color. It's about your performance as a mayor. Okay, are you doing a good job as the mayor of Chicago, New York City, Los Angeles? Are you doing a good job? Look at the state of your city. You got these teenagers running around downtown acting the fool, all kind of gunshots happening, murders happening all over the place, police demoralized. That's going on in your city. And aren't you also a sanctuary city? So what are we talking about exactly? I'm not really sure. Now, here is a little bit more from Miss Lori Lightfoot. This is from a few days ago, her speaking about the end of her term. Let's see if she said anything in here that might be a little bit more enlightening. And of course, this video will be in the box for you guys to watch on your own.
It has been 2 months since the voters sealed the fate of Lori Lightfoot as a one-term mayor, a tough loss for Lightfoot, who had confidently predicted during the campaign that she would win a second term. Tonight, she reflects on what went wrong, as well as what she hopes will be her legacy.
How are you? Good.
Good to see you too.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot winding down her term in office and in her only local TV interview, publicly opening up about the election for the first time. Why do you think you lost the election?
Well, I think there were a variety of reasons. Again, I don't spend a lot of time looking in the rearview mirror.
Do you think there's anything you could have done?
So, okay, you just heard her speak about, Trump and the dog whistles and black this and all this and that. You just heard her allude to those things and or say those things on the interview with Al Sharpton. But right here, she's like, oh, it's a few things. I can't really pinpoint. Funny how that works, depending upon where you are, right?
Done differently that would have changed the outcome in February.
Yeah, 3,000 to 4,000 more votes across Black Chicago. That's the difference maker.
Lightfoot pointing to the pandemic, the murder of George Floyd, and the escalating violence that ensued as factors in her election loss.
There's a lot of anger, frustration, and fear that is present not only in Chicago but across our country, and the winds of dissension continue to blow at a furious pace. So for me, the biggest challenge wasn't some particular person's name on the ballot. The biggest challenge was breaking through what I call that anger bubble.
Lightfoot brushing off the notion that her reputation of having a combative leadership style turned voters off, and that if she had tried to come across as more likable, the election outcome may have been different.
It's a false narrative as far as I'm concerned. You can't get the kind of things done that we have gotten done through the...
So here's the question. What has she gotten done? Is she going to talk about those things? I'm not in Chicago. All I could do is speak on the outside looking in. But from my perspective, I think things did not go very well under her administration. Keep it like that.
The most difficult circumstances without being able to build partnerships and coalitions. It wouldn't happen.
What do you hope you will be remembered for?
I don't have those kinds of hopes. What I hope is that the work that we have done in the whether it's through the investments in youth, the investments in healthcare, affordable housing, public safety, mental health, public health. I hope that work will stand the test of time.
To anybody that's listening to me, if you live in Chicago, around Chicago, if you frequent Chicago, you guys let me know if what she's saying rings true. Did she make strides in all those areas? Public health, mental health, public safety, housing, and youth? Because I saw a bunch of so-called youth out there in Chicago acting the complete fool, terrorizing tourists. So, I mean, is that evidence of the work that she has done? Am I speaking about a one-off incident that is not reflective of what Lori Lightfoot has done in Chicago? Y'all please give me some context in the comments.
Through the lives of the people who have been most affected by it.
As for her successor, Lightfoot said it will be critical for Brandon Johnson to rise above the fray and not be beholden to any special interests, but she declined to discuss what they talked about in private.
I am a person who believes in preparation. I'm a person who believes in taking issues on head on. And so, not surprisingly, I came in with a long list and I ticked through each of those issues. But importantly, I've offered to him since that initial meeting and in subsequent conversation, I am here to help in any way that he would like. That offer doesn't expire on May 15th.
Lightfoot says she will leave the mayor's office with no regrets. What will you not miss about being mayor?
There's a long list. I hope that my hope is that the challenges that we've faced around our own personal safety will subside. I won't miss people threatening me and my wife and my child. That I definitely will not miss.
Okie dokie. So that's pretty much the video right there. And again, these will be in the description box. Also, link in the bio on IG for you guys to watch on your own. There was a lot said there. The interview that you just saw was a little bit different than the first one from MSNBC. Speaking to Al Sharpton, you want to talk about all this blackity-black woke stuff, but then once you go in front of the white man on local Chicago news, it's about, oh, well, you want to have our legacy. We did things for the youth, all this and that. It was different. It was much different. But as I close, I want to say this. I think the reason why she lost is because people did not like the job that she did as a mayor. It's quite simple. You know, people on the outside can see what's going on and on the inside. Because ultimately, the election is about those who are inside Chicago. I can't vote for the mayor of Chicago. So you can blame Trump and these guys on a national level, but ultimately it's up to your citizens out there in the city to vote for you or not. So did you do a good job? If you're doing such a good job, the outside voices will not make a difference. But if you're not doing a good job and people can see it, then all of a sudden it makes a difference. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Lori Lightfoot said here? You think the reason why she lost is because of some outside dog whistles talking about her being a black female and maybe even LGBT, all this and that and the third, although her successor is a black male who is probably more of a liberal than she is, and they probably are friends and know each other. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. That was pretty pathetic to pull the black female argument. It really was, because ultimately, if you do a good job, it doesn't really matter what color you are, especially in Chicago, right? So liberal and so welcoming, it shouldn't really matter. At least they said it doesn't really matter. So I think if you, like I said, you do a better job of keeping your citizenry safe, not demoralizing the police, then maybe you'd still be there. Just maybe. Rather than trying to blame the outside, you should look inward. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.